Hello and namaskar. Welcome to my channel. Let's get into some quick tips to do close reading of a text with special reference to literature students. Now, what is close reading? Well, to come up with the idea of close reading, here we have its thoughtful, critical analysis of a text that focuses on significant details, patterns, like precise understanding of the text form, the craft, the meanings, and the key requirement of the Common Core state standards, and it directs the reader's attention to the text itself. So it is a detailed reading, observation of the form of the text that covers, it should cover the core standard, the standard. There's a particular standard, CCSS, which we call it CCSS or Common Core State Standards. So it should match. But to be very simple, we need to look into the details of the form of the text. Now, what does it comprise of? Well, coming to the constitution of close reading, then it requires using short passages. You need to choose short passages and excerpts from any text. You should focus on the text itself, then reread deliberately using a pencil or a notebook. You have to notice things that are confusing, and you need to discuss things with others. You may form groups, you may discuss with friends, and then you have to respond to the text dependent questions. You have to formulate your questions and then you have to try to answer them. In close reading, there are three different reads that we need to emphasize, and they are the ideas, the key ideas. The first read should involve the key ideas and details. Whether it is a grammar, whether it is punctuation, you need to give that detail. So in second read, you need to have those ideas in the first read. Second is the craft and structure. Just a while ago, I was talking about grammar and punctuation. That comes under the second read, the craft and structure. In the third read comes the integration of knowledge and ideas, how you organize your ideas to form a meaning. So you have to start with those ideas, then work upon the craft and structural details of the text, and then integrate your ideas by combining those knowledge and the grammar in the text. So some of the sample questions that I have here for close reading, it can be, say, what is the first thing you notice? What is the second thing you notice? How do you combine them? How do you compare them? Which are the words you find it confusing and strange? Are there any complicated meanings? Are you struggling with the vocabulary? Is it some unusual word that is not letting you get to the meaning? What is the imagery? What is the imagery that has been used by the author? What kind of sentences are being, written down, and especially the punctuation? What unusual you find it? What different is there? So those little things you have to observe. Besides that, you also need to know how to react or think about any characters or events in the story, and any observation of colors, sounds, any descriptions of senses. Does the imagery create a pattern? Or like, what is the dialogue like? What is the speech patterns? Is there anything unusual? What type of what type of narration is being used here? What kind of a narrator is that particular, that which the author is using? What are the metaphors being used? Do you find any metaphors? Then can you identify any symbols used there? If you find any kind of allusions, if you find any paintings, any intertextuality, and what is the genre of the text? Is it a humor? Is it a satire? So that really means or adds to the close reading of the text. These are certain sample questions that might help you, and I give the reference credit to these two links, which also will be there in the Dropbox, provided you go through it. And what we need to look for in a close reading is question. Try to annotate the details. You have to choose one particular excerpt, and from that you have to try practicing that annotating. You have to take one piece of one just sentence and try to analyze that, what is being used, what is the construction that is used, and that way you can go ahead with detailing of your observation. That is close reading. Thank you so much for watching this video. We will go about more details into the definitions and explanations of the literary terms. Namaskar.